In part 3, we were leaving Banff on the 8th day of our Canadian road trip. Today, as we drive, we will pass through the quaint little town of Fields and then have lunch in Golden before reaching Revelstoke. Really hope you enjoy coming along with us today.
now. Nice one.
Laundering.
The foot. He uses the foot.
I've been driving Mandy and Sheila around for about 10 days now, without them complaining about anything or showing me that they're scared of me driving on the wrong side of the road. Actually, they were very, very pleasant to drive with. No backseat driving or anything like that until we hit Anarchist Hill. This hill rises 1,491 meters or 4,892 feet above sea level, and all the bends are very sharp. Anyway, I wanted to show Mandy and Sheila where Eddie and I were thinking of retiring. We wanted to buy some land up on Anarchist Hill here in the Soyuz, as it is the only desert in Canada, so it is warmer and the land is cheaper. Anyway, as I drove, Mandy and Sheila just became so nervous, and they vocalized it. I mean, they told me to go slower and slower as I was going up the hill. Anyway, I finally had to stop because they couldn't take it anymore. And when I stopped on the top of the hill, they were even too scared to get out of the car, so I had to get out of the car to show them that it was okay. So when they got out of the car, they saw how steep it was and that, and they said, there's no way they're going to let me retire up here. It is just not a safe place to be when you're retired. So they convinced me not to. But anyway, I wanted to do something to show you guys why Mandy and Sheila were freaking out like that. I went on YouTube to look to see if anybody else was driving on this hill and if they've videotaped it. So I found this video, and I thought maybe I could share it with you to show you why Mandy and Sheila were so scared. Anyway, see what you think.